Reuben and Aoife from Westside Cowboy. How are you both?
Good, yeah.
Also good. Sorry,
I was going to say very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Good. You've just come off stage here at Øya. How'd it feel?
Lots of fun. I just did some running about and dancing, kept forgetting when to come in because I was jumping around, making a fool out of myself, but really enjoying it.
How integral is fun to the experience of touring? I'd imagine it's something that could quickly get a little bit exhausting.
I think you've got to take it when it calls to you. Not saying you shouldn't put your all into every performance, but knowing what that means, because otherwise it makes you embarrassed. It feels like you're trying and you're being like ingenuine. But today I felt like jumping about, so I jumped about.
You're playing the long game then?
Exactly. What about you?
I do this thing where sometimes I'll try and make myself giggle. I don't think they're very funny things that I do, but like sometimes I'll like touch my guitar on the floor and I'll be like, well, that was.
You went down on your knees?
Yeah, I went down on my knees today.
So you're doing novel things.
I do a novel thing, and it just takes me out of like I'm like, well, you can't take yourselves too seriously now because you've been on the floor.
Reach the bottom to bounce back up.
Exactly.
I see. Has that always been the approach? As we were saying before we got started, I first saw you guys at, I suppose it would have been All Points East last year, and then at End of the Road. And it seems like you've come a long way in terms of putting out so much country till we get there, and you've got It Goes On coming out in a few days. What's that arc felt like?
I don't know. It's just sort of been every day we do similar things and we see similar people, and then you get on a stage and very, very luckily there's sometimes more people every time, and that's really nice.
Yeah. And I think we're getting better at touring generally. Like I think we know the certain things to do and not do, like when to maybe give each other space, and when to like when to know not to go out and like walk around a city all day, like a tourist, and like trying to be like, no, actually I need to stay in bed, like I need to have a nap or something, and I think we're getting better at understanding how to sort of how to exist whilst constantly travelling and playing.
Let's talk about your sort of evolution as a band. How did it all come to be in the early days? You've been together for a couple of years now?
Probably 3 now, I reckon.
No, August.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in August.
Yeah.
There's a band anniversary?
I don't know. We could probably find out when the first thing was done.
James has a picture of Paddy in Roadhouse from the day.
Oh yeah, and I have the bag. I have my sister's like kid bag, because Paddy, the day we started Westside Cowboy, Paddy bought this Telecaster that had been like absolutely destroyed from Johnny Roadhouse, and that James has a photo of him with the Telecaster, and I'm in the background with a bag that's about this big, and it's like rainbow galaxy something. I think it used to be my sister's, and maybe I had it for like 3 days.
It sounds like a bit of a hallucination.
Yeah, it was very
But now
strange.
I'm remembering you with a tiny bag.
Well, aside from really kitsch luggage, what was it that brought you all together?
Music, proximity, friendship, probably just those things. Convenience, boredom, unhappiness with other parts of our lives, and James being like, said to you guys, do you want to start a band? And we'll call it Westside Cowboy. And he just wanted to play old 50s tunes.
It sounded like the name predated the music.
Yes.
What sort of role does a name have in shaping a band's sound?
I don't know. I think what sort of obstacles does a name put in the way? Like in the way, I think we're still battling that the alt country tag and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're huge fans of a lot of that music, but you have cowboy in your name, and that's what's gonna fall on your head, I think.
Even if the yeehaw present in your music is fairly minimal.
Yeah, exactly that. We really like country music, we really like folk music, we really like Americana, we like lots of other music too. individually and as a group, and you might hear some of it, you might not. The name probably wouldn't have been that if we knew it was going to be a real band, but it's all part of the story.
I think with the rise of bands like yourselves, there's been a real lens on British bands in the guitar music space. How do you make yourselves stand out in a genre that could be seen as somewhat saturated?
I think that initially that it was probably the 4 singers. I think that it was a sort of maybe a little bit of a, people saw it as maybe a little bit of a gimmick, and I think that generally we've always been of the opinion that human voices are sort of a little, and human voices together are like a bit of a cheat code when it comes to getting the heartstrings or whatever. You know, like if you ever hear like a choir or something, it doesn't really need to be that good. It's just people singing together is just a great thing to witness, and I think that that was maybe what was a little bit different about Westside Cowboy at the very start.
I would say, like, aside from Westside Cowboy, just in like the broader sense of the question, like bands that we love and know in England that I think are really special, I think it's like not taking influences or inspiration as like, not using that as a textbook and not taking them too literally. Nobody wants to listen to like an imitation of something that happened like a year ago or 10 years ago. Like, people want to hear what you have to say. This sounds a bit more like, I don't know, sports movie talk, but the only thing nobody else has is like you know. So there's your motivation.
Is that from Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree, and you guys have done it in a way that's really exciting and not at all derivative, so props to you. Well, let's talk about your taste for a moment. I ask this of everybody I interview, but if you could play me any album, what would you play me? Feel free to pick 3 between the two of you, if you'd like.
Oh, I've been listening to, we're all very big Magnetic Fields fans in this band. But I've been listening to Holiday a lot, that album.
That's so good.
It's such a good album. In my free time, I like playing lots of stupid shit on keyboards, and that album, I think they're just like, let's just put all the crazy shit on it. Like, and I really like. It's a really fun album of theirs that, it's not 69 love songs, it's not it's great.
There was a year where I think all I listened to was Strange Powers over and over and over
It's
again.
so good. That's an amazing song.
Yeah. He's got such an interesting, like, very candid vocal delivery, and it's super unpolished, and I love that about him.
We use him as sort of like a biblical figure because he's just like, Stephen Merritt is just like amazing vocal, so like charismatic, and like writes some of the most beautiful lyrics and then some of the most like arsehole lyrics. It's just brilliant, and you can get it all from his delivery. Just
on the Stephen Merritt thing, we really love him so much, and the Magnetic Fields, to the point where the first single that we ever released, I've never met anyone I thought I could really love until I met you, was the original demo of that song. I was doing a Stephen Merritt impression. I was remember this, like I was over this like weird keyboard thing, and it didn't end up being like that way, but we always want to try and write songs that are in some way connected to the Magnetic Fields. What's that Tom Waits album that I've been listening to?
Variations.
Oh, Mule Variations. He just got an incredible way of delivering vocals, really interesting, weird vibe generally, and
I'm not too familiar with that album. Is that more circus music Tom Waits or a bit more chambery Tom Waits?
You've got these beautiful songs of all times songs, and then you've got What's He Building, which is just,
I can hear it already.
What's he building?
Like, what the hell is he building in there? And it's just metal noises, basically, like blacksmiths.
Filipino box string hog or whatever it's called. It's just like him like just slapping sounds and him just making. Amazing. We've been listening to the Dove Ellis album a lot recently. I feel like we should do that.
He's incredible.
He is really great.
Played here on, I think it was Thursday.
Yeah.
And just blew me away.
Yeah.
Well, we were just saying earlier that whenever we bring him up, we went to university with him, and he they're all great friends of ours, but the drummer Matt Deacon is incredible.
The idea that someone that we know can write such amazing music, and the fact that something so accomplished was done by someone who you've seen at a pub, it's really inspiring.
Reuben and Aoife, thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you.
Great to chat with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.